What's up? It's DP Kingpin Chronicles, and I got a response to some comments on my last little short video that I did about all this drama that we get caught up into, right? About whether or not somebody got drafted to the NFL. Y'all check me out because I'm gonna explain the reason for the video that y'all made these comments about. What's up, y'all? DP, man. I'm back, man, again. And you know, I only speak on stuff that is gonna apply to the message that I'm trying to push on this spot right here, right? So when I commented on something that was in the realm of sports, right? The NFL, namely, and about Deion Primetime Sanders, right? I finally got a couple people to interact with the channel so I can kind of hopefully answer their questions, right, that they asked in regards to this video that I'm going to share with you in a second and clarify the way that it fit into what I'm trying to do in the direction that I'm going with trying to reach people and connect with people to get us all in accordance with, man, the way we need to start moving and what the way we need to start thinking, right? And I'm gonna let me add it up here, right? And then we're just gonna watch it right quick. Cause it ain't but like a 1.5 minute, almost 2 minute video. So check me out right on this video. Sanders boys that put themselves into the draft, the NFL draft, and everybody making all this commotion about them not getting drafted, and they trying to say that he didn't get drafted because they hating on Deion. I'm saying that the only reason y'all making all this noise is because he Deion's son. If this was not Deion Sanders' son, y'all would not be talking about it. Every year they do this draft. Every year is niggas that don't get drafted, man. The only reason we're making a big deal about it is because these boys done became social media stars and they got a big social media following. That don't mean you qualified to play in the NFL. Now he don't have to get a job to prove himself worthy. That's the only way he's gonna play. The only way he can play quarterback because his daddy was coaching him. Can anybody answer that question? If they didn't play for their daddy, would they have been starters? Were they the best quarterbacks available for the teams that they played for? And if their daddy wasn't coaching, would they have did what they did? See, Travis Hunter showed what he could do, and ain't no daddy there to make him. He was the best at the position, and he took advantage of it. Them other two boys, they just played because their daddy was the coach. That's the way I look at it. That's the way these other teams look at it. Because can't nobody point out the one outstanding talent that either one of them got that all these teams passed on. The only reason y'all making this noise is because them Deion sons, man. Come on, man. Y'all jump off the fan bandwagon and really analyze it. Or let the people who get paid that money to do the jobs do them. Two Sanders boys that put that. Okay. Now we can pull that down. Now, right? There's a lot of people out there that ain't gonna agree with that, and I understand. But I'm saying that that's one of the problems going on with quote unquote the culture, right? Deion got the money, right, to market his sons, right? So Deion thought that he was gonna take advantage of, right, the social media marketing aspect of selling anything, right? And he attempted to sell his sons, right? That's just what it is. He attempted to sell his sons to the NFL, right? And then what he did was he thought that he was going to have enough influence by coaching them in high school, probably. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think there's no kind of way nobody ever been able to coach these boys without Deion putting his prime time opinion in it, right? So we just got to be real about that. We see how Dion is, and I'm not gonna call it arrogant, but we see how confident he is in himself, right? And you see his son, Shedeur, namely, show that same thing, right? The other son seemed to be a little more he confident in himself, but like he ain't one of them people that got his nose up and like think that he just naturally above people because of his last name, right, and who he related to. So we saw this all over the place. They started to show a lot of their personal and behind the scenes life, and got a lot of people in relationships with them, because when you start to see it the way, you start to feel like you're kind of a part of them people's lives, or at least that you know a little bit about their lives, right? And you start to have like emotional ties to it, right? And you're like, oh, he's such a good dad, man. Oh, they living the life that we all wish we could live. Boom, boom, boom. And then now the son come out, right? And he portray himself as a part of the culture, right? And I'm not knocking the culture, right? But I'm talking about every time you see him, he in the game stunting, playing a college game with a $250,000 watch on. You know what I'm saying? And come on, man, you playing in college games with, you know, $500,000 worth of jewelry on. Come on, bro. I mean, I understand what. Okay, if you got it, flaunt it, but then don't feel some type of way when people hate on it, because you know you're gonna get haters. You know what I'm saying? See, and y'all want to be like and follow something that people like I was in my past, right? We did that because we were stunting on people. We got our chains and our so we can grill on them and all of that. We did that so we could stun on people that couldn't do it. We could stun on them. We're gonna come by in our cars and swerve on them and all that, beating on them. We're gonna use that as a way of holding ourselves above people and above the norm. So people start to not like that. And I don't care about it, but I'm just explaining, right, the reason that I felt like it wasn't nothing wrong with what happened in the draft, right? And I'm gonna reply to. I got two comments, right? And I'm gonna reply to each one of them, and I'm gonna read them out. I ain't gonna put whoever it is on blast, reach out if you want to come on and we could see what's up with this. I hear you out, but I expect for you to hear me out, and we both see if we come to understanding. Because at some point we got to come to an understanding about the way we need to move forward in the culture, right, or the way we live in the United States, right? So the first comment I got was, "You wrong," and I'm just gonna read it verbatim. "You wrong and right, bro. Yeah, he for sure getting way more attention from being Dion's son than he would without him. But he was the second ranked QB, but was the sixth QB drafted. MFs don't fall that far in the draft unless they got some big character issues or something." Right? I liked it, and then I hearted it because okay, I like the fact that you interacting with the platform, right? And I appreciate that, and I hope more of y'all would. Whether you agree or disagree, just comment and interact with the channel. Hit the like button. So, you know what I'm saying? Subscribe. It's free. It don't cost you a dime. It's free, right? Help me get my numbers up so they'll put the content in front of more people, and we can start getting some of these discussions going on amongst people that's like minded. All right, if you don't agree with me, you don't agree with me. I don't have a problem with that. That don't make you no less or me no more. We just don't agree on that. We don't got to not fuck with each other. You know what I'm saying? We just don't agree on that. And ain't nothing wrong with that. That's what happened amongst men. You might not agree on something, but you discuss it, right? And you come to some kind of common ground where you can say, okay, not we agree to disagree, but I understand where you coming from and you understand where I'm coming from. So we could move on past this so it don't turn into nothing where you dislike me or I dislike you or no beef or nothing. We could work past any kind of disagreement. So that's one of the points we're gonna make with us being able to comment and disagree with our people or disagree with people without it being no kind of issue, right? It ain't no love lost if somebody don't agree with you, right? And then if you don't agree with me, man, like the channel, right? Or like the video, subscribe, right? And keep following me. You know, you'll catch on to where I'm going with this, but I'm gonna respond, right? I'm right and wrong. I can't be both, bro. That's just first. I can't either I'm wrong, right, or I'm right, right? Either you understand, you agree with me, but you differ with it, you know what I'm saying, a little bit in this way, but I can't be right and wrong, right? So either you agree with me or you don't, right? And you started out by saying, yeah, he definitely getting more attention than he would if he wasn't Deion's son. Now that's obvious, right? And I'm gonna say this, and also in response to that, and the fact that the media playing this game by throwing these, see, they play with us emotionally, right? They try to get us riled up emotionally, and then they control us with our emotions. So now when you done been watching them all on social media, right, and you got these emotional ties to them because Deion is a great father, and nobody's saying that he's not a great father. But at some point, we got to let our kids live their dreams, right? And we can't try to control, right, our kids' dreams. You see what I'm saying? And I'm gonna give an example of this that I personally went through. I coached Little League football for a couple of years when I was a young man coming out of high school, and I was also one of the fathers that was like, okay, if my son gonna play, right? I played football my entire childhood up until a couple of years before I started coaching. So why not, you know what I'm saying, start coaching football? This is a way that I can give back to my community and be involved in the youth in my community, right? What I did was I started coaching with almost like a relative, but my son and his son they wasn't even relatives, but they was relatives of relatives like that. So, we started coaching the team, and what I started noticing was that the coaches in the Little League would, they friends, the females they might have wanted or whatever, but it was favor being shown to some kids, and they was able to play positions that it was players better than them, right, on the team for that position, but because the coach had a relationship with these parents, or it was their child or whatever, they played that position that their parent wanted them to play, right? And I didn't like that. I didn't think that that was football, right? And I saw that that was going on heavily, right? So I kind of fought through it the first year, and we went the first 5 games going 0-5, right? I wasn't a head coach. I was an assistant, like a defensive coach or something like that. And I was trying to tell them this the whole time. And finally, about halfway through the season, we switched and started giving some other players looks at these positions that I had been trying to say, man, look. And we go the rest of the way and win the championship. These players become the superstars of our team that didn't get a chance in the beginning because of whatever the reason was, but they wasn't football reasons, right? And I ain't like that in sports. The second year I came back, and it seemed like it had got worse, right? Because it was more of it, right? And I noticed I was affected by that. Like my first year ever playing football, I was like 7 or 8 years old. It was coaches' sons and the dope boys' sons, and they was the ones that was getting pushed out at one of these local teams. in my area, you know what I'm saying? And for a long time, that made me look at dealing with the youth in a certain way because I didn't like how it was being dealt with in my experience, right? So now that's the same thing going on with these boys. And you got to be able to be or put yourself in the mindset of somebody that got billions of dollars that's going to risk millions of dollars on a player, right? That we don't know if they would have been the starting quarterback, right, without their daddy. We don't know if they would have been the athlete that they look like they is without or minus the athlete that we know Travis Hunter is. Right? Any quarterback that threw the ball to Travis Hunter would have looked good. All you gotta do is get it in the vicinity. He's so athletic that he made a lot of good plays that y'all not watching in football. And then second, you said he was the second ranked QB. Second ranked QB according to what? According to what? He didn't compete for no national title. He didn't compete for nothing. Y'all talk about a bunch of yards that, for the most part, Travis Hunter and his receivers got after the catch. See, we don't talk about that yards after the catch stuff that those people in those positions look at and study to see, okay, is he really making these big plays or are these receivers that athletic, namely Travis Hunter, right, who went second, right? They didn't say none of them celebrating this. There's more news about who didn't get drafted first or second than all the young black dudes that did. That did. And why? It's because they don't have a major social media following. So now why should we be taken away from the great achievement of the number one draft of black dude, right? Because Deion's son ain't get drafted and whenever you expected him or feel like. That's what I asked y'all to explain. If you was gonna question what I said, you had to come with and tell me what was special about Shedeur, right? As a quarterback, right? That he should have been drafted so early in the draft. Now I kind of think he did go kind of late. I think him falling to the fifth is the actual fall, but him going in the third, second, or third round, early in the fourth round. Man, look at all the great quarterbacks that done came late in the draft. Quarterbacks usually ain't a lot of quarterbacks that get drafted early in the draft. Y'all know you don't know the sport. I'm not here to talk sports, but I'm here to talk about the way that we put these people up because of images and social media stuff that they put in front of us, and it might not really be what we think it is in real life. We get caught up in the glamour and the glitz of it, but how many games did they win? How many games did Connor? How many? He was, I believe they say he's 13-12. So you won half of your games as the leader of the team? Come on, y'all. I mean, I'm waiting, right? And that's the comment I was looking for if you're going to comment, right? And I'm not disrespecting your comment because I'm responding, but I'm trying to figure out what did all these teams miss out on? Because he's an average quarterback. He's average. There's nothing spectacular about his game. He threw for this many yards. Look, okay, let's take Travis Hunter away, and then let's take yards after the catch away. Let's see what he did. How far was his average, from him to the receiver? Yeah, I could throw the ball far. I played quarterback in high school. That don't mean that I should have went to the league because I could throw. Everybody ain't meant to go 1 in 10,000, man. 1 in 10,000. Man, they say MFs don't fall that far in the draft unless they got some big character issue or something. So you note the other reason. Who want that? The character issue. And now is Shedeur Sanders being a coach in the stands going to be a problem? Deion be all over social media and on interview saying what he's not gonna let his son do. And then who? No, man, people don't want to be the LA Lakers. Them NFL teams don't want to be the LA Lakers right now. And that ain't no knock to LeBron and him being such a marketable specimen that he was able to get the Lakers to bring his son on. And yeah, this will sell more tickets. We ain't gonna win nothing, but this will sell more tickets. Man, them NFL teams ain't going for that. They say, okay, we're gonna make him just like we do normally with quarterbacks, right? We get a decent quarterback, right? If we got quarterbacks, or we get somebody that we can see if they're gonna work in our program. You ain't taking no quarterback. You ain't won nothing. Have you had won 3-4 national titles, and led the league in passing every year and touchdowns passing every year? Now it'd be an uproar like this. If it was just undeniable that there was no way, no other. But when has that ever been? We've seen Charlie Ward. That's why I mentioned him. Charlie Ward, Tommy Frazier, undrafted. So we have seen this before. Stephen A. Smith and all these other big names in the media and sports. We ain't never seen this before. We've seen this a bunch of times. 1 in 10,000. Get that chance. 1 in 10,000. It seemed like everybody mad to me that social media didn't work, right? And we got to stop following these idle images, these fake images that people prop up in front of you, right? And you think that's really how it's supposed to be. It ain't no different than most of these rappers. They prop them up in front of you with the big jewels on, right? And then they act like they live the life that I'm trying to run away from, right? To trick you into chasing this stuff that don't count for nothing. The minute you buy some jewelry, you lost your money. Because you can't get back what you paid for it. Unless you like me and bought jewelry years ago and not gold and doubled in price, like I told y'all it would. Everybody that been dealing with me in the financial world over the past 3 years can vouch that I told them gold was gonna go to over $3,000. And I'm saying now that gold is gonna go to over $5,000 per ounce. So message in between, right? You got any gold jewelry that you paid too much for back in the days that you want to get rid of, now is the time to double whatever you paid on it. Because gold, over $3,000 an ounce, right? From 1,600 to over 3,000. That's double in value since I started telling people it was going to 3,000. But that's another day, another lesson. Shout out to the Trade War Chest, my trading program, where I actually teach people how to trade gold in the market. But I'm gonna get back to this. And Dion, right quick, just shout out to what I be doing, man. You gotta listen sometimes, man, right? But I think I responded to your comment, and I think you kind of agree with me, but that's just that last little bit of fan in you fighting for him. You know what I'm saying? I ain't mad at that because I'm a fan of Dion. I'm 45 years old, so I had to be watching Prime, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. I'm a fan of Dion when he played football, right? I ain't gonna get into all that, right? But I'm a fan of Dion, so this ain't no disrespect to Dion or him or any of his family, his sons or anybody. But what I'm saying is that, right, we should not be causing a big commotion about where he fell in the NFL draft, right? Because at the end of the day, he still got a chance. Now what he got to do? If he who y'all say he is, then what he gonna do? Huh? He gonna do like Tom Brady did. If he who y'all saying he is, right? He gonna do Dak Prescott and come get that big deal because he gonna show something. Dak got hurt and stuff, But this ain't no sports analyst thing, right? This for me to speak specifically on us following these people who idolize and the lifestyle, and then expecting for that to be the acceptable standard, right? So these teams don't want that. Because for the most part, look at the people that we see, right, that represent themselves like that. And I'm not knocking nobody, and I'm not going to call no names. But if you look back over the past years and look at the people that kind of got pushed out of the sports world, pushed out of the just the entertainment world and the just real getting money world, they represented themselves a certain kind of way, didn't they? They held themselves with a certain kind of, just like, I ain't gonna call it cockiness, right? But you definitely got your nose pointed upwards, right? And you think that people supposed to put theirs in certain spots for you. See, you should be taking advantage of your position, right? In real business. Come together with some people and buy a team. Dion, you want to have control over what's going on in the league and feel like you can label, right, these teams' decisions, right? Why we ain't got no team? See, we always want to get mad about what other people do with what's theirs. Oh, we going there with it. Yeah, we going there with it. We all these rich athletes must be the money, Dion, right? Why y'all ain't come together? Why y'all don't got no NFL team? Y'all want to spend y'all money on big diamond chains, huh? And 300-acre houses just to live on. You ain't making no money off of it. See, rich people, they appearance don't show their wealth. Huh? Their wealth show itself. See, they live in a little modest house, right? And then they got 3,000 of them spread out across the country that pay for them to live the lifestyle that they want in their bank accounts to keep overflowing with money. But soon we get a couple dollars, it's the first thing we go do. And say, oh, my jewelry old. All this jewelry bought years ago. Years ago when it was cheap. It's expensive now. And I'm telling y'all, I know I was throwing money away. I'm glad gold up now. For instance, I actually went and sold some jewelry. Yeah. Man, I'm a hustler, homie. Huh? Yeah, I don't love none of that stuff like that. Jewelry, cars, I had too much of it. See, and Dion ought to be to the point where he done had enough of it to tell his sons, man, if I think back on all the money I threw away on that and where I'd be if I'd have put that money here, put that money there. And I ain't saying Dion ain't got no, I ain't talking about what nobody got. But I'm talking about the way that we teach our kids. Because we can talk all we want. They're going to watch us. And they're going to do what they see us do. They ain't listening to what we say to them. They're going to do what they see us do. If they don't go together, they're going to be like, oh, he told me not to do it. But look at him. Yeah. So that's response to that comment. God, I didn't know I responded to that for 30 minutes. But I don't mind. It's content. Right? Now, this dude flat out say you wrong. You doing this for clicks. You haven't followed their career. You're crazy. Do your research if you want to be successful, period. Okay. First of all, I appreciate your opinion that I'm wrong with my opinion, right? everybody welcome to their opinion, right? Opinions, in my opinion, can't be wrong, right? Because it's mine. It's my opinion. I got control of that. You can't tell me whether my opinion is wrong or right, right? First, right? Second, you're doing this for clicks. Yes, I'm doing this for people to watch the video, right? Listen to what I'm saying, right? Like the video, subscribe to my channel, right? And then engage with me like you did. So, yes, I'm doing this for all kinds of clicks, right? But I don't do this for a living, right? I'm doing this from a property, right, that I own, right, that I'm able to clear and make a space, and I'm working on it still. So that's why I'm always right here. But I got an entire area I'm working on making into a studio so I can do the interviews that I'm gonna do to help me push my message. But I'm most definitely doing this for clicks, and so is everybody else who make videos and post them on social media, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, or wherever. They put it on there for the click. So if you didn't know that, I'm sorry to be the one to inform you that people post videos and content on social media for clicks, likes, subscribers, followers, and all of that type of stuff. So yes, I agree with you, right? Now you say I'm crazy. Uh, I would say that I used to be crazy. About 10, 15 years ago, I was crazy. I was in the streets and there was a lot of stuff that could get people hurt, right? I pushed poison in my community. I did a lot of crazy stuff, right? I went on high-speed chases from the police. I used to, I used to have firearms and stuff all over the place. I was not scared of the police. Yes, I used to be crazy, but I done came to my senses a little bit. And I think I'm thinking just a little bit better and making better decisions. And, some of the stuff that I got and that I'm doing and that I've done for people and that they'll speak up for, that speak for itself. So I probably am crazy. I probably am. Like, hey man, if that's what you think, I'm not. That's your opinion. You welcome to that, right? But I seem to think that, I'm a pretty intelligent brother, that came from poverty, got entangled in crime and a whole bunch of criminal activity, right? I suffered the consequences of having to spend time in jail, right? I lost a lot of my friends to jail and death, right? So I pretty much saw it all when it come down to those things, right? And then what I did is I was able to redeem myself by what? Changing myself. I educated. See this picture right here behind me? Right? I got that picture right there for exactly what it is. You see, it's the dude in the universe with the hand, right? The creator with the book, with the information, right? And the dude sitting there and it's in his mind. Okay, I fixed that. I educated myself in all kind of ways. I'm a master of many different skills and trades and different areas of study, however you want to put it. We can get into that on something else, but I might be a little crazy, right? You said do my research if I want to be successful, period. Well, first of all, I'm not looking for no success in sports commentation, right? Speaking on sports or anything got to do with sports, right? That's not what I was talking about. I was speaking more so on the entitlement, right? That people feel as fans. Y'all are fans, right? Y'all wasn't watching Colorado football 3-4 years ago, right? Fans, right, start to like other teams and other players, and y'all started to like another team. Y'all was Jackson State fans who wasn't Jackson State fans 2 years prior to that. So, I mean, y'all obviously, right, are just following, right, the the media glamour, right? The fact that you're able to see their whole lives and it's so glamorous and it looks so good and so motivating because they got everything, and then you think that they are entitled, right? Without performing, Travis Hunter was the special one on that team, not taking nothing away from any other players on the team. Travis Hunter is that once in a lifetime player, right? Right? Because when we talking about the first couple picks of the draft, we talking about once in a lifetime players. So it's not a problem for these players that's not once in a lifetime players to go in the early rounds. Right? Some of them do slip through. Some of them do experience a slide and have to prove themselves to be that great one and to get the money. Dak Prescott. That's just the name one. You know, he got the big deal, but he was a late round draft pick. Tom Brady, late draft pick, big deal. Come on, y'all. Quarterbacks just don't go that early all the time. And y'all, you do your research and you learn by sports, because I played sports for almost half of my life, bro. You know, and was a very big fan of sports until it got to where the media got so much control over it. And I think the NFL did right if they did come together and say, okay, we're not finna let that happen here. We're not letting it, what just happened with the NBA and LeBron go on over here. And you want a team to risk this money for you, and then I responded to both of y'all on that video. Stop being go check the video out, man. It's gonna be right there. I put it up somewhere right here or right down there. I'm gonna figure out how to do that right quick. But I showed the video. It ain't no long video. It's a short, so I ain't gonna share it. But everybody opening their opinions on this subject, and I just spoke on it because it's something big in the culture and that's been spoken on in our community, and I do think that it affects the way that we look at what we feel we just automatically just entitled to, without being able to articulate why. Ain't nobody, all everybody's saying is, prior to this, he was singing, but I ain't heard no analysts from these teams saying that. That's all on ESPN, which is what? All opinionated. Everything y'all bringing up as the reasons is opinionated stuff from commentators on sports shows, man. And come on, man, y'all know how the news and TV is, man. They put out what they want people to think, and that's what they're doing. They took away the shine from everybody. They took away the fact that this brother got drafted, and when he got drafted, he went to report it to his mom. And I'm not going to report whether he related to her or not before she passed, but she passed soon as he got drafted, and that ain't the big story. He ain't the big story being celebrated. And his mom, who waited to hear that, who waited for this day. And when she heard that, she said, I got my baby where I worked so hard and dedicated and gave my life, right? But that ain't the big story. Whether Dion, 13 and 12, son, I'm gone, man. DP, Kingpin, Chronicles, man. That's why.